The Roman Catholic Church condemned a swastika-draped casket held at a recent funeral in Italy. After the funeral of Catholic Mass was performed for this deceased individual, as his earthly remains were processed out to his final resting place, family and friends put a swastika flag over that and shouted and chanted fascist salutes. Both the priest and his superiors said they had no idea that this was going to happen, and they condemned in strongest terms how this is antithetical to the Christian gospel. As a pastor who's done a number of funerals, I know that feeling of you do something and all of a sudden the family does something really wacko afterwards. But I just want to highlight one thing. They decided to drape his earthly remains in this political, this personal symbol, like that was what they wanted to remember of him. But if you've been to a funeral, sometimes you see that there's this white sheet that's placed over the casket. It's called the pall. It's where we get the idea of a pallbearer from. This funeral pall, this picture that we, by baptism, by faith in Christ, have been clothed with Christ's righteousness and are pure and holy in his sight. I think it's frighteningly ironic and quite stupid that someone would exchange Christ's righteousness, what he has done for us by faith, with this idea of what we can do with our own political alliances. That is the human way, though, that somehow what I do or the groups of human friends that I have is more important than what Christ has done for me. Psalm 119b. How can a young man keep his way pure? By living according to your word. Living according to the world standards, whether you want to be swastika draped or not, of course we wouldn't, but that concept, living according to the world standards, will not make you pure. It will make you sinful, it will make you dirty, it will make you wrong. But what Christ has done for us, what he encourages us then in Christian freedom to follow, how can we live? We can't. We're not perfect. That's why at a funeral, it's not about me and what I have done, and not about what I'm wearing today. It's about what Christ has done, draped over me in perfection. That, oh man, that actually gives me comfort and joy to know that even though I have not lived perfectly, I have not walked according to your word always, I have not as a young man or an old man been blameless. You have. You did. And you provide for me at the day of my death and for rest of eternity.